So today we are going to be talking about jealousy. What is jealousy and where does jealousy come from? And why do we feel this emotion? And what is the difference between admiration and jealousy? Is it something that we should despise, or is it something that we should praise and have in our lives? So if you want to join me in this discussion, definitely continue watching till the very end. And if this is your first time or you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, like, and subscribe this video and hit the notification bell for more videos. Thank you. Without further ado, let go. Hello there, how are you guys doing? My name is Shalom and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for visiting me. I am excited to have you here. All right, so we have been looking at the life of David, and David is a person in the Bible he is one of the most popular stories in the Bible. And we've learned about how David got anointed and how he defeated Goliath and how he got married to the king's daughter and how he is famous in the town. So basically, at this point, everybody likes him except for one person, and that one person is King Saul. So King Saul started noticing that, you know what, David is getting more famous than me. The people like him. He's actually good at fighting battles. He might actually want to take my throne. And so because of that thought, and because God had left Saul at that time, he started having feelings, not natural feelings for David. He started having envy and he wanted to kill David at any cost possible. And so basically the from chapter 18 to 22 sort of journeys through David running away from King Saul and trying to save his life because King Saul wanted his head, basically. So now we can see that King Saul himself was jealous of David for reasons maybe justifiable to some, maybe justifiable to him, but is it justifiable to God? Is it okay for us to be jealous? Is it okay for us to have those feelings? So we're going to talk about that today. I just want to start us off with a story. A story. This is the story of two ladies in the Bible, and they're both sisters, and they were actually both married to the same man. Yes, that's right. It's the same man. So mind blowing. Um, but yes, they were married to the same man, and their names are Rachel and Leah. So Rachel and Leah are sisters, right? And Jacob is actually their husband. Jacob was trying to do something, and he noticed Rachel. He noticed that Rachel was there, and he thought of her as very beautiful and striking, so striking that he wanted to marry her immediately. So he went to Rachel's father and made an agreement with him to basically work for 7 years for free so that he can have Rachel as his wife. And so the father agrees, like, yeah, sure, you can work for 7 years. And so he did. He worked for 7 years. And on his wedding night, Rachel's father, pulled a fast one on him and basically switched Rachel with the other sister, the older sister, Leah. And so now Jacob, thinking he was basically being with his love, Rachel, was actually being with the older sister, Leah. And so he woke up the next morning and was furious. This is not what I agreed to. This is not what I wanted. And Rachel's father was like, you know what? This is just how it is in our culture, in our tradition. We can't give the younger sister. So in order for you to get Rachel, you have to work under 7 years. And because of the love he had for Rachel, he decided to. Now the story sort of the jealousy story begin at that moment with between Leah and Rachel. Now Leah recognized that Jacob loved Jacob loved Rachel more than herself, and because of that, she became jealous. She became upset and jealous about it. And likewise, Rachel was jealous not because she didn't receive the love from Jacob, but because she couldn't bear children on her own. And because God saw Leah's predicament and decided to bless her with kids, Rachel was jealous. And so it became like a competition of who can give Jacob the most kids. And lo and behold, they had several kids, but the thing that happened between them was they kept basically fighting each other. So now, what did jealousy do in that scenario? Jealousy basically divided sisters. There were two sisters that probably living together all their lives, did so many things together, maybe ate together, danced together, laughed together. Now, all of a sudden, they are in this situation where one person desires what the other has. And because of that, because of the desire that they have for the other person's stuff, they were basically like unhappy and fighting. So what does jealousy do? What did jealousy do for these two ladies? Basically, jealousy took away the joy that they could have had being sisters and being married. Jealousy caused them to focus on fighting each other as opposed to working together to live a good life, to have a happy life and to be joyous. So what does jealousy do? Jealousy has that kind of power. Jealousy can cause you to not focus on bringing joy for yourself or bringing joy for your family. It can cause you to just think of competition and fighting and all of that. And that was what happened with Rachel, and that was what happened with Leah. They were both sisters, and as siblings, God put them together. It's not for them to be fighting, not for them to compete or anything, but for them to work together. And because of this scenario, because they wanted something the other person had, they were too focused on trying to get what they wanted as opposed to living together in harmony. So what can jealousy do? Jealousy can steal our joy. Just like Rachel and Leah, I'm pretty sure they weren't happy when they were in that situation. They were just thinking of how can I get kids? How can I get my husband's affection? How can I do this and this? As opposed to working on their happiness and being joyous. So jealousy can actually steal our joy. Another story in the Bible is the story of Cain and Abel. And basically, Cain and Abel were brothers as well. And one thing that the Lord asked them to do was to bring offerings, basically their first fruit offering to Him as a sacrifice. And the thing is, basically, Cain brought something that wasn't pleasing to God, and Abel brought something that God would delight in and God would find joy in. And because of that, God blessed Abel and God approved of Abel's offering, but not of Cain. Cain saw this and he was so furious, he was so jealous, he decided to just kill his younger brother. He was like, I'm done with this. And so he did something so gruesome by taking, because of the jealousy he had, because Abel had more favor in the eyes of God than himself. He decided that, oh, I can't do this no more. I got to get rid of my brother. And he did. And God was so upset with him, so much so that God cursed him. Now, that is an extreme example of jealousy. Hopefully, we never get to the point where we're so jealous that we feel like we gotta get rid of somebody. But Cain felt that. He felt that extreme emotion. He felt that extreme feeling. And because of that, he got rid of his brother, the brother that came into this world with him. Right? So, what can jealousy do for us? What can jealousy provoke? Well, in this scenario, we see that jealousy provoked basically murder. Basically, Cain was so angry, was so jealous of his brother, and that the fact that God approved of his brother's offering, that he got rid of him. So, how can we move past this? How can we move past jealousy? I wouldn't say that, oh, it's something that would never happen. It's a natural emotion. Sometimes we see something and we desire it, And sometimes that desire can go to the extreme, and that's what jealousy and envy is. It's an extreme desire of somebody else's possession. So what can we do as Christians, or even as people in general, when we feel that jealousy or we feel that envy? What can we do? Something we can do is, for as Christians, we can take our emotions back to God. We can take everything that we're feeling back to our Savior. God cares about everything. He cares about even the silliest things. He cares about, maybe you have a little brother and he has this really cool shoe and really nice shoe, and you're like, I want this. I really want this. Or maybe it's just somebody has this grade and you've been trying so hard to get this grade, but you can't seem to achieve it. The first thing you should do is not act on the jealousy and go and do something crazy. A thing that you can do is take that emotion to God and be like, Lord Jesus, this is what it is. I am feeling this extreme emotion. I'm feeling this emotion and I don't know what to do. Please fix it. And our God is so caring. He's so considerate. He cares about even the silliest things that we think, the things that we think is silly. He cares about it, and he wants us to bring everything to him. So I would say the first thing that you do is bring this to God. The thing that you could do is you can try as much as possible to not make room for envy to grow, right? James 3:16 says, when envy and strife is, there's confusion in every evil work. So there's a guarantee that if you let envy fester, things that are not so negative, things that are out of character would happen. For example, if you're a regular person, that likes to do regular things and you're kind and, I don't know, gentle, and if you let envy fester, another thing is it can take you to the extreme and you start to do things out of your character. So not making room for envy is so important. Lastly, I just want to leave you guys with Philippians 2:3. It says, let nothing be done through thrive or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem each other better than themselves. So this is just encouraging us to not do things just for the sake of vanity, but that in everything we do, we should esteem our brothers and sisters, our neighbors, people around us. We should treat people with kindness. So, all right then. Thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate it. I hope you learned something, and I would definitely like to know your opinion. And for the questions that I asked earlier, please go down to the comment section and answer them to the best of your knowledge. What do you think? What is jealousy to you? Have you ever experienced jealousy, and how did you deal with it? So questions like that, go down to the comment and answer them. I would love to hear your opinion and just start a conversation there for sure. All right, without further ado, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thank you. See ya. Bye.